And then the first speaker is Ms. Luisa Bautista-Yu, who is the Regional Director of Eastern Visayas region in the Philippines, who will discuss her experiences in trying to reinstate education system in the region after the typhoon Haiyan in November 2013. Welcome, Ms. Yu.
Good afternoon, everybody. Magandang hapon po sa aking mga kababayan. To my colleagues in the Philippines, maupay nga kulop. The title of my presentation is Rebuilding Hope in Eastern Visayas. Exactly 2 years and 3 months ago, Eastern Visayas was hit with the strongest typhoon that greatly affected education in the Eastern Visayas. We were all at the verge of losing our hope in building back our schools that were devastated by Haiyan. Our biggest challenge was how to bring back the children to school with inadequate educational resources and depleted classrooms. However, despite the heartbreaking situation, the welfare of our teachers and school children prevailed. Indeed, after more than 2 years of recovery and rebuilding, we have built back better Eastern Visayas. Today, on behalf of thousands of our educators and school children of Eastern Visayas, I would like to share what we have done to build back better for the benefit of our school children. As I start, let me share to you a brief profile of Eastern Visayas geographic facts. Eastern Visayas is located on the eastern edge of the Visayas Island chain, facing the Pacific Ocean. The islands of Samar, Leyte, and Biliran are the main land masses. It has 6 provinces, 12 districts, 7 cities, 136 municipalities, and 4,390 barangays. The highly urbanized city of Tacloban is the Eastern Visayas Regional Center. The region has 2 types of climate. Type A, wet or rainy, and Type C, moist or rain, is sufficiently distributed. Since Philippines is located along the Pacific typhoon belt, where some of the most powerful tropical cyclones form and pass through, it is usually visited by an average of 19 to 20 tropical cyclones every year. And one of the most destructive is the super typhoon Haiyan. Haiyan's devastation. Haiyan left a massive devastation in our country, especially in the education sector. It affected 1,366 schools, with 9,420 partially damaged and 2,172 totally damaged classrooms, affected 25,975 teachers and employees, and 676,45 learners. About 30 teachers, employees, and 530 pupils perished. And so with this, the delivery of basic educational support to children and teachers was challenged. With the depleted educational resources, children's education was disrupted. The biggest challenge was to bring them back to school. To bring back normalcy, Bangon, which means rise or stand, task force and education clusters were created to facilitate the restoration. From moving on to recovery process, everyone was so optimistic that the Department of Education Region 8, Eastern Visayas, would regain its normalcy. Bangon DepEd, or Rise Department of Education Task Force was formed to unite all schools divisions to plan for strategies and to be undertaken. It was the bayanihan spirit, the working together spirit of everybody that made the Department of Education Eastern Visayas rise again. Along with Bangon DepEd Task Force, Education Cluster was also formed to fast-track the restoration of DepEd Eastern Visayas, focusing on the three planning areas: access, quality, and governance. The Education Cluster, chaired by the regional director and represented by the different non-government organizations, humanitarian organizations, the UNICEF and Save the Children and others, and education sectors, assess the extent of damages in the school buildings, classrooms, school facilities, and others. The Central Office of the Department of Education immediately responded to the needs of the Yolanda victims, especially the children. Overwhelming support in all sorts from various sectors, DepEd and non-DepEd institutions poured in. The journey of moving on. Education in emergencies were conducted in temporary learning spaces. Students and teachers were provided with learning kits, teaching kits, food packs, hygiene kits, wash facilities, ECCD, and other basic educational needs. Psychosocial activities were conducted to relieve the teachers, students, and DepEd personnel from the trauma. Education cannot wait. It must be served in order to bring the children back to the right trail. On January 6, 2014, all schools in Eastern Visayas resumed regular classes. The attendance of students and teachers was inspiring. DepEd Region 8 was successful in its advocacy to bring the children back to school. Although there were still remarkable traces of destruction in schools, the look in the eyes of the students and teachers was encouraging. Donors continued its support to the schools. Construction of new classrooms and repair of damaged classrooms started early in December 2013. Temporary learning spaces were installed and built in affected schools. DepEd Eastern Visayas has found its way to recovery. Rebuilding schools, restoring lives. The lessons of the past are truly great teachers. Having experienced one of the nature's worst disasters, taught DepEd Eastern Visayas to be even more resilient and adapted to circumstances. To date, we have built disaster-resilient classrooms that could withstand a 5.2 magnitude earthquake and a wind speed of 250 kilometers per hour. The post-Haiyan reconstruction has already reached its 100% accomplishment on newly constructed and repaired classrooms. The government constructed a total of 938 new classrooms and repaired 4,678 partially damaged classrooms. Non-government organizations, both local and international, also donated disaster-resilient classrooms to schools that were hit by Haiyan. They also did repairs in schools that incurred partial damages. Hence, the diversified colors of most school buildings in DepEd Eastern Visayas is a symbolic representation of unity of these organizations and humanitarians in being one with us in fulfilling our mission to make education accessible to all. Disaster risk reduction trainings were conducted in schools to prepare the teachers and school children for any disasters and calamities. Part of our curriculum is the integration of the climate change adaptation concepts and strengthening WASH in schools. We have also integrated disaster risk reduction in our school improvement plans. Rebuilding Eastern Visayas after Super Typhoon Haiyan was an inspiring journey. Our recovery would not be that easy without its partners who unselfishly devoted time in planning and fulfilling its commitments. The resilience of our school heads, our teachers, and our students who never gave up and continued to build back their lives despite the heartbreaking experience was instrumental in rebuilding our schools and in restoring our lives. Accounts of success stories were documented and published in the book, The Children Could Not Wait. This is the book which we have worked collaboratively with the Semeo Inotech. And the coffee table book, which is entitled Padayon, with the theme Rebuilding Hope in Eastern Visayas. If I may share, the coffee table tells the journey of DepEd Eastern Visayas and the process of rebuilding hope after the Great Destruction. It tells our story of recovery, our resilience, our hope, and our gratitude. The contents of each part are inspiring stories and testimonies from our teachers, from our employees, and students who were victims of the typhoon. Even myself is a victim of the typhoon. With this book, we wish to convey our altruistic gratitude to our partners in education, the non-government organizations, the humanitarians, private donors, and all those who have helped us in the recovery and rebuilding process. It wouldn't be easy for us to build back without your strong partnership. In conclusion, we have made a significant progress in protecting our school children. And with the lessons we learned from Haiyan, we hope to inspire our educators around the world. Never give up for the school children. We need to unite and stand together for quality education. Thank you, and may God continue to bless all the educators and the children around the world. Good afternoon again.